For today's bad coaster review, we have Corkscrew at Cedar Point. Honestly, y'all, we Thuzies are spoiled. Now I kind of hate myself for saying Thuzie. Anyways, imagine yourself back in 1976. And the best new roller coaster for that year is Corkscrew. Okay, it may not be the best new roller coaster of that year, but it's a world record breaker with 3 inversions. Oh, and it was kind of the start of record-breaking disappointments and bad blood between Cedar Point and Six Flags. It would have been the first modern roller coaster with a vertical loop, but Revolution at Six Flags beat them to the punch by a week. Now, granted, at the time, it was just Magic Mountain, but who cares? This rivalry is seen multiple times over with Mean Streak and Texas Giant, Batman the Ride and Raptor, Millennium Force and Goliath, Top Thrill Dragster and King Ka. You get the picture, but this is like so far off topic. Let's get back to Corkscrew. So it's 1976 and Corkscrew opens up. The ride is revolutionary and everything for its time. Now, it's like the forgotten coaster that everyone walks by on the way to Top Thrill Dragster, Maverick, or Steel Vengeance, of course. Every time I visit Cedar Point, I swear to myself that I will not ride this roller coaster, and for some reason I find myself being tortured by taking another ride on this thing. My excuse during my last visit, well, my daughter Braylon finally hit 48 inches, meaning that she can ride this sucker. Because, well, I want to encourage my daughter in her path to becoming a full-blown coaster enthusiast, not Thuzie. I take her on this ride. I said to myself, it won't be that bad, just brace yourself for the quote-unquote bad parts. Well, it was torture for me, but complete euphoria for Braylon. As soon as the train rolled back into the station, she begged for another go, so me, of course, being an incredible dad, I passed her off to her mother for the next lap. In her words, Corkscrew is, and I quote, awesome and the best thing I've ever ridden. Okay, so with all that nonsense so far, why is Corkscrew so bad? Let me tell you. First thing is the restraints. I hate the hard over-the-shoulder restraints that are found on almost every aero looping roller coaster. Because of my height, the restraint doesn't come down that far and will crush my shoulders. I also have to slouch in my seat so I can fit. It's never a good sign when you have to contort yourself into bad postures to fit into a ride. Next is the layout. Corkscrew is about as basic as it gets. I guess for 1976 standards, the stats were about on point. The ride stands 85 feet, has 2,050 feet of track, 3 inversions, including a vertical loop and double corkscrew, and reaches a max speed of 48 miles an hour. I guess today's equivalent would be like a Eurofighter designed by Gerstlauer. They usually have a small layout and only hit about 3 inversions or less. But yeah, for today, unless you are nostalgic for aero loopers, I'd say this is a coaster most would instantly forget after riding. Finally, the main reason why Corkscrew is just not a good ride, the headbanging. Corkscrew is a real banger for sure. Every inversion is uncomfortable, including that airtime hill, which I was not expecting. To be fair, I remember really loving that airtime hill, but not this time. The best part of the ride is that small section of straight track right before the corkscrew, or, well, actually it's technically the brake run because, well, you know the ride is over. So yeah, the vertical loop and airtime hill are uncomfortable, but the real torture element is the double corkscrew. If those two elements didn't already put you in, then the corkscrews are sure to finish you off by playing ping pong with your head. So the main takeaway from today's review is, I don't know, I guess I'm old or I'm just a wimp. I don't know, I guess unless you're a 6-year-old girl, you're not going to like this ride. Okay, so one nice thing I can say about Corkscrew, I actually can't ride this thing without laughing. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous to everything I just said, but anyways, when a coaster is so bad, like beating you up, I don't start moaning in pain, but just break out in laughter. So while Corkscrew is scheduling my next chiropractic appointment, I'm still laughing and having a great time. Go figure. Well, that concludes today's bad review. What do you think of Corkscrew? Are you a fan of this roller coaster? I actually want to hear all about it. If you enjoyed today's content, please do me a favor by clicking that like button and subscribing. That way you continue to get great content brought to you by Extreme Thrills.